The Arctic has transformed into an oven. Heat waves have sparked hundreds of wildfires in Siberia, millions of hectares of forests going up in flames. It has been a record-setting summer season. Scientists say it could get worse. The chilly Arctic breeze could be snuffed out soon if nothing is done about global warming. Here's a detailed report.
Forests in the Arctic region are up in flames. They are burning with great intensity. The smoke has reached the west coast of the United States. In Siberia, close to 3 million hectares of forest are on fire. Since January this year, more than 4 million hectares of forest has already gone up in flames. The heat wave has reduced the expansive boreal forests into a bone-dry patch of land. Since last month, Siberia has been registering record temperatures. Over 38 degrees Celsius in some regions, which is abnormal in the Arctic. Scientists believe the recurring heat waves will continue to spawn wildfires, given the number of fires that emergency workers must put out, over 150 at last count. Cloud seeding aircraft is being used to bring down rain over the wildfires.
We are monitoring the clouds, and when we find enough clouds over a wildfire, the plane immediately takes off. Today we are going to work over 2 or 3 wildfires. This method makes fire isolation, fire extinguishing in remote areas much easier for the firefighters working on the ground. Their job becomes significantly easier.
Satellite images show that much of the Russian Arctic is in the red. The problem of wildfires is closely linked to climate change. Global warming is causing the Arctic to melt faster. The Arctic sea ice has lost 70% of its summer volume since the 1970s. Last year, the Arctic region saw one of the lowest ice covers on record. Forests are absorbing the heat due to the lack of ice. Once they catch fire, huge clouds of greenhouse gases are released. This further drives up the temperature. It is a vicious cycle. Climate scientists say the Siberian heat wave is a warning cry from the Arctic. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
And joining us live on the broadcast this minute is our correspondent from Moscow, Lucy Taylor. Hi, Lucy. It has been called a disaster in the making in the past. Several warnings, and now the disaster is visible to one and all. If you can get us up to speed first with the latest coming in from Siberia.
Yes, well, these wildfires have been going on for months now, as you say, and it's all part of these record temperatures on the 20th of June, temperatures of 38 degrees in one part of of Russia, the highest ever, the hottest ever recorded within the Arctic Circle. And on the whole, it's we're learning now that it's 5 degrees on average warmer, 5 degrees warmer between January and June than the average of previous years. So very hot temperatures causing these, or at least exacerbating these wildfires, also causing things like melting permafrost, thawing ice, which cause problems in their own right. So it's not just the hot temperatures, the hot weather, it's the effects that these are causing as they do so.
In terms of the action taken by the authorities, has that been satisfactory so far?
Yes, well, Vladimir Putin declared a state of emergency in June about the situation happening in Siberia because of the wildfires. And then at the end of May, we also had the large diesel spill accident, which was caused in the city of Norilsk, was caused because of collapsing infrastructure at a power plant when 20,000 tons of diesel were released into the environment. So a pretty terrible disaster on its own. The company says it's done what it can to clear up the diesel oil, but the environmental watchdog in that region is trying to sue it for compensation of $2 billion, quite extensive damage caused to the area. And that in itself is a problem, but it's also a problem that it was caused, they think, or exacerbated by the melting permafrost in that area, which led to a pillar collapsing and led to a collapse in pressure. So we're seeing a bit of a spiral here where there are problems caused by climate change, but then in turn exacerbate the environmental damage that's caused as going on. And similarly, those Siberian wildfires, we're told 56 megatons of carbon dioxide has been released this year by those fires. So releasing in turn more carbon into the atmosphere, more greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, which will only then serve to exacerbate the problem.
Indeed, we're going to leave it there for the moment. Thanks very much, Lucy. The crisis there only intensifying across Siberia.